Hello and happy Monday. Yes, the coronavirus could kill us all or bankrupt the entire world. And cuttlefish can finally assert their immense intelligence to become the new rulers of a shattered human civilization. They could enslave us, forcing us to sew them fingerless gloves in enormous, depressing factories made of seashells and human tears. But let's table that for now. Today, I want to tell you a story. In 2014, a 9-foot long female great white shark who had a research tag abruptly disappeared off the coast of Australia. 2 weeks later, its research tag was found by a beachcomber 2.5 miles away from where its transmission was detected. The data showed that the female great white abruptly dove to a depth of almost 2,000 feet. The ambient temperature surrounding the tag spiked from 46 to almost 80 degrees. The data suggested an attack. Since white shark stomach temperatures are thought to be about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit and even less at great depths and in cold water, a shark attack seemed unlikely, and some research believed that a killer whale may have been responsible, but none were detected in those waters at that time. In 2019, 200 miles off the coast of Virginia in the United States, a 14-foot-long female shark named Catherine also disappeared when its research tag suddenly terminated its transmission. Speculations ran rampant as to what could be killing female great white sharks, who are the apex predators of the ocean. The YouTubes and the National Geographics went cuckoo bananas trying to offer up ideas about the predator responsible. Was it male territorial aggression by competing sharks? Giant squid? They do live at 2,000 feet below the surface. Carnivorous whales or killer whale pods would have to surface for air, and that data would have been detected by the research tag. Whatever attacked the shark, it did not resurface. Cthulhu. The old god could have risen from its slumber deep in sunken Early-A. Cthulhu did have the strength and size to kill a great white. The megalodon, a giant shark that lived 2 million years ago, did have the size and strength to not only attack a great white, but to swallow one. The internet exploded with news about the megalodon. Popular culture flooded with movies and television shows about this prehistoric beast. Could it still be alive? To answer this question, let's take a look at what it takes to maintain a population of species. Yes, other prehistoric animals have been found, ones we thought had gone extinct, like the coelacanth. But the coelacanth isn't 18 meters long with an appetite of 4 full-grown elephants. You can have 10 coelacanths hiding near a cave and never see them. But even 10 hungry 60-foot killing machines would send every whale on Earth running for their lives, rethinking their evolutionary stupidity of ever having returned to the sea in the first place. There are no bodies of megalodon found, and not a single one has ever been seen or photographed. Photoshopped, yes. Photographed, no. And you would think we would have found something by now if they'd still been around for the last 200 million years. Maybe a flipper, a tail, maybe his little face biting into an aircraft carrier, something. But the megalodon idea still persists, and the question is why? What is it about human beings that makes us want to believe things, all kinds of things, without even a shred of proof? One could cite faith or intuition or maybe sheer boredom. The world is boring, so let's make fantastical things up to add mystery and expand the realm of the unknown. Human beings rely on a set of cognitive processes to arrive at a given conclusion, but we add our own bias to this. We cherry pick and twist the facts to fit our own existing beliefs. This is called motivated reasoning, and we all do it. So what does that look like? Let's find out in a segment we like to call Manipulated by Information. If you have a feminist bias, you would lean to the idea of male territorial aggression. I did repeatedly say female sharks went missing to trigger this response. In actuality, female great white sharks are larger and pose a greater threat, but you wouldn't let something like facts stop you from blaming the male sharks. Let me change your mind about men. I can be your territorial conquest if you can catch me. Okay, I will let you catch me. Who are we kidding? Metaphysical, spiritual bias. If you enjoy energy crystals and ancient aliens fascinate you, Cthulhu, the old god, might be something you would be interested in learning more about. True, he is a fictitious deity made by H.P. Lovecraft, but the idea of fantastic extra-dimensional explanations over the ordinary boring one would spark your imagination. Keep talking on that reefer. It's mind medicine. Science bias. If you think Neil deGrasse Tyson is the bee's knees and watch Nova without falling asleep, chances are you have a science bias. All things are knowable. We just have to find out the proper amount of research and testing. I include the giant squid in my story and the coelacanth to trigger this side of your bias. The giant squid has a beak and cannot possibly swallow a shark 9 foot long. But because other animals were also found from prehistoric times that we thought were extinct, you were looking at other animal explanations or a natural scientific explanation. You once again have zero evidence for this, but you will fill your beaker with nonsense and turn on the Bunsen burner of arrogance. Superb. The bias of the disenfranchised. You believe everyone is always lying to you. NASA, the US government, the intellectual elite of the world, breakfast cereals, progressive commercials are all liars and frauds. There can be hundreds of megalodons swimming around, and we are being lied to about their existence. Or we are far too stupid to notice 300 to 600 school bus-sized murder factories with fins chomping their way through our oceans for the last 2 million years. Facts don't matter to you either. No megalodon evidence, no problem. The only way you'd stop believing in this is if the government announces the existence of the megalodon. Then you have to move on to like a hydra or a squirrel monster. I don't know. I created a simple story and added buzzwords to trigger certain biases. You can have multiple ones, and the more I trigger and the more you have, the more likely you are to believe me. Just to be clear, I have every single one of these biases in one form or another in varying amounts, and so do you. The Australian shark was killed by a 21-foot-long great white shark. Gender unknown, feminists. And yes, this has been confirmed. A 9-foot shark is easy prey for a 21-foot-long one, and cannibalism over territory or hunger has been seen before in shark behavior. Catherine, the 14-foot-long shark, what happened to her? Well, she reappeared 1 year later. The battery on her transmitter died. No squid or megalodon or masculine oppression, just crappy Radio Shack batteries. Many people have heard of these shark disappearances, but very few care about the results because it doesn't fit in a conventional pattern that we want to package to prove our own crackpot theories. In the absence of information, we default to our own biases to fill in the gaps. We do it with everything. Well, I hope we all learned something. Please concovnie and subscripti tacos, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Onlys.